Hello everyone, today I will be introducing you to a polarizing YouTuber. We can see how they went from just another content creator to someone who over the last year especially has been saying and doing some very problematic things. Meet Foodie Beauty, also known as Chantal, a Canadian YouTuber who started her channel as a hobby, where she did mukbangs and shared story times from her own life. The story times were pretty cringe, but honestly, she was usually the one in the story doing the embarrassing thing, so if she felt comfortable sharing, then no big deal, that was her prerogative, and I am perfectly fine with that. I was introduced to her channel when my children turned it on, because they know I have misophonia, and the sound of people chewing is like nails on a chalkboard to me. They turned it on to annoy me, thinking they were so clever, which they are. And it did annoy me, but also I realized it was kind of a train wreck and I couldn't look away. It was like what Cops was back in the 90s. For full transparency, I'm a fat lady. I'm not going after Chantal because of her weight. I too am a fat lady. I'm not at my heaviest, but I'm still fat. And in my personal opinion, if the worst thing someone can say about me is that I'm fat, I'm doing okay in life and they're not very creative. We are also a very similar age. I will be 37 on August 16th and she's 38. I'm not going to be going for the low blows about her looks because low-hanging fruit and all that. I will instead be focusing on her behavior and the horrible ways she treats others, including her two adorable senior cats, and the general hypocrisy she has about herself versus everyone else. I decided to start covering her because her behavior has just kind of been on a fast downhill slope since last year. And honestly, she reminds me of a family member of mine who has antisocial personality disorder. I'm not diagnosing her or claiming to be an expert or medical doctor, but here are the symptoms. I'll let you decide where you stand on this matter. I do have some background taking psychology and forensic psychology classes when I was in college a few years ago, but I am no expert or doctor. This is just my personal opinion. When Foodie first started her channel, she was working as a medical secretary and in a long-term relationship with an African man named Bibi. However, she lost her job and focused more energy on her channel. Her partner was working a lot to help cover the bills, and she was spending a lot of money to make the videos. This was not a good thing, and eventually they fell out of love and ended up splitting in 2020. After this breakup, Chantal decided to get an apartment with another ex of hers who is also a long-term friend by the name of Pete's. Not his real name, but that is what she calls him. The apartment they chose had to go in Pete's name, as Chantal is behind in her taxes, and also allegedly has very bad credit and is unable to lease a place in her own name. I only mention this because she has recently bragged about making so much money on YouTube, yet she still lives paycheck to paycheck and has even had to borrow money from her mom over the last few months. This apartment is known as the Villa, and due to its location, Pete's was unable to find employment in the area because it's pretty far out and he doesn't drive. Chantal pays for everything, but anytime she decides she's ready for a change, she brings up moving out on her own and renting a room elsewhere for Pete's. I mean, he's a grown-ass man and should have his own space and money, but dangling this over his head every time you change your mind or feel annoyed about stuff in your own life has got to be thoroughly frustrating, especially since you claim he is one of your dearest friends. She is still living in the villa with Pete's, and as of late her life has been a bit of a train wreck, which shifted into overdrive when she met a vile man on a dating app, and he affected and infected her life in many nasty ways. But that story is for another video. This video was just a general introduction to see how this random mukbang storytime channel by the name of Foodie Beauty has devolved into the problematic creator she is today. In Chapter 2, I will be comparing her old content to what she live streams today, her adorable senior cats, her dangerous driving, and the way she describes both men and women, because in general the way she describes other people is pretty gross. Pretty gross. In Chapter 3, I will be starting the Nader saga. This situation had the biggest red flags waving from the very first meeting, and Foodie chose to not only ignore them, but to help him create a channel and encourage her viewers to subscribe to him. lie about his behavior, and make excuses for the horrific things he said about her friend Pete's, as well as other content creators. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next chapter. Bye, everybody.